Good afternoon, hockey fans. We are getting a little bit of a late start here. Zamboni just going around, so hang with us. We're getting set up here. We'll give you a little bit of a different view here. We'll go with the AV cam and see if we can get both going on the Zamboni here. There you go, goalie cam views. We'll be back at you. Hang tight. Note to self, this is why I'm doing practice runs. I don't know how I should be able to fix it, but it's not letting me. Layering full screen. I don't know if I have time. I can just skip it. I got bench cam. I don't know if you know how. Where are they going? Somebody's coming out. I just won't turn it on. Okay. What's that? All right, everybody, I see Northern Lakes getting ready to come out on the ice. Just in the far corner there. So we got the new broadcast going here for everybody. We're still working out the kinks with the new location. And a little bit of a change here for you. We'll try to give you as many looks as we can. We got goalie cams. We got the bench cam. Locker room cam, but obviously it's not as upright. I thought I could change it here in the window. Northern Lakes is taking the ice. Can you hear me? All right, so we got Lexi Fuller on the color commentary here while we're getting ready for her to start getting ready for the JV game. So here we go, Lex. What do you think? Important. So why is the Jacks coming down the end, coming not out of their own locker room? What's up with that? I saw him coming in. I had him mixed up then. All right, that makes sense. So game one here of the season, we're working out the kinks, so we're going to give you a double look here for the Jacks. Give you the net cam and get them warming up here. So my understanding is these jerseys today are not the ones they're going to be wearing for the season. So everybody's numbers are all messed up. So you're going to have to forgive me while we get to know them. You're right. There you go. So one is Millie Knox. Two is Noemi Johnson. Naomi. That's what I got my notes. Naomi. Let's see. 9 is Megan Berg. 12 is Tyler Berkman. Taylor. I don't think they were here. Bergelbach is 13. Bailey Root is number 20. Kelly Markowski is number 10. Let's see. Tyler Frank is 18. LMA Swanberg is 11. Let's see. Maddie George, 17 it looks like. Lucinda Lawson, 14. Lily, what's her name? And thank you if the Lauer family's watching. We are so happy to have a third varsity goalie. And the third goalie. Olivia Cole is number 3, Longberg is number 7, and Emma Griner's 19. Boy, it would be nice if these were in some kind of numerical order. The Queen is number 8. Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, last names is all I need. So let's give you a little look at Northern Lakes here. Switch it up. So these are the two varsity teams starting out. Normally during the year, you're going to see the JV up first and then varsity. Today we're switching up. Varsity's going first. I do not have a roster for Northern Lakes. Out there? I don't know. So congratulations to Bailey Root for making the USA under 18 team, making the national team. It was one heck of an honor. A lot of hard work goes into that. Let's go back and watch our girls. Warm up here. We can check out what the coaches are doing. Lexi, is that Coach Neal right there? Inside? Yeah. So it looks like we've only dressed one goalie here for varsity. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 skaters and one goalie. So 3 lines and 3 sets of team. Let's get a look at Northern Lakes here. I see 2 goalies. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So 19 it looks like for Northern Lakes with 2 goalies. This system dialed in for everybody next weekend. We do have a floor band that we could do here. So how do you say the goal's name? Lily? L-A-U-E. Got it. So welcome to the Lauer family here to Bemidji and Lumberjack Hockey. Excited to have her. Lexi, your camera's the live one. We got 35 to go on the warm-up clock. I believe we're going to play 2 halves of hockey. I don't know how many minutes. Right now we're about 20 minutes behind. My understanding is things are going to be pretty loose here. The refs aren't looking to call penalties. I don't even know if we're going to do that. Yeah, or you can do the reverse psychology. We're not going to want to look like homers and then they call one penalties on us. So both teams going to their respective benches here. Now we got bench cam on for you. Hope you like that one. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Gotta like bench cam. We had locker room cam. I'll show you that one, but it's kind of crooked. I was thinking I could stretch it out.
Do you want? Can I email
Yes.
that to someone?
Yes, I'll give you my phone number. Thank you very much.
It's just a screenshot and it's everyone, JV, varsity, all mixed in.
As long as they got numbers.
Yep.
get my roster here, everybody. So it looks like we're starting out with Roop, Canot, 2 and 8.
Oh no, not Facebook Messenger. Regular text message.
And Bemidji gains the offensive zone. That's Roop coming in behind the net. Throws it out to the point. Goes past Boomer. 5-5-6. 2-4-7-2. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Brown throws it in deep. That's going to be 7. Walker can go get it. Thank you. That Roop fires one off. Cannot. Makes the move at the blue line. Comes sharp in. Showing through it just wide. 11. That's Swanberg. She's going to try and throw it in deep. Picked off by Northern Lakes. Hit a skate. And now it's going to pop out to center. Where is that? 16? 16 is Johnson. So Bemidji changes him up. 12, that's Berkey. Berkey. Berkey, I like that. Berkey tries to get it in deep. That's Malkowski. Come back now. Bemidji to retreat all the way to their own end here. That's McLean. She throws it up the wall. Look at that, Frank. Northern Lakes off the hash mark. Who's that, Lexi? That's Berg. Got Malkowski with her. Tries to dish it off to McLean. Malkowski on the hash mark back on the wall. Stolen by Bemidji. Now Northern Lakes throws it up ice. Picked off by Coe. She goes behind the net. All alone as Bemidji changing out front. Looks like Bonder. And the Northern Lakes goalie puts the mid on it. Says, give me a whistle. We're going to fix that for you. Take it off there. So working out the kinks we are here. This is Frank. He tries to throw it towards the net. And Northern Lakes is able to get it out of the blue line. That's Frank. Northern Lakes tries to get it up ice. Good battle here by Bemidji. Shot. That goes wide. That was George. Mabaki trying to battle with it. Comes around to Lawson. Johnson out at the point. How'd you get these memorized already? Alright. Lawson tries to dish it over to Frank. Northern Lakes puts it off the blue line, but throws it in deep. Lawson now back to, can't tell you, Blomberg hot off the bench. Here comes Roop. From the top of the circle, shot wide. She threw it wide. Back to the goalie. Canot with it. Canot's going to drive the blue line. Tries to get around the G, makes a move. He's going to throw it over to Johnson. Canot trying to get somewhere. Trying to go to real estate. Still looking. So it's going to ram at the blue line. That one goes around Longberg. Here comes Northern Lakes. Longberg retreating to her own end line. Round to Canot. Longberg. Northern Lakes now picks it up in the slot. And then tries to throw it in deep. It's going to be Canot to pick it up. Roop trying to get past the D. 1-on-2. She still got it. spin around, throws it back to Canot from the slot. That one got tipped and over the net. Is that McLean? And now Northern Lakes will pick it up at the circle. Goes back to McLean. She loses the handle. And half a pass. And it comes out to Northern Lakes at center. Now Canot's going to pick it up. Makes a move, top the circle, trying to get to the slot on the backhand. Shot, that was blocked by Northern Lakes. Now out to the point. Teed it up. Is McLean. Well, one's a 6, one's an 8. And then that is 6. Or is that a 9? There we go. I will get these numbers. I know, right? I'm going to have to relearn everybody. Stepped in by McLean. Nice job by Cole. He tries to throw it towards the net. Picks it up again. Tries to get it out front to Baki. Shot, and right into the mid of the Northern Lakes goalie. She says, give me a whistle. So we got 18:58 left here in the first half. Face-off controlled by the Jacks. Maddie George here trying to get inside the blue line, picked off by Northern Lakes. Go bats it in deep. He's not pressuring on the picked off by Lawson. He goes down in a heap. Took a bit. Picked up by Frank. She dishes it back up the half wall. Frank trying to get somewhere with it. This is George. Coming in with some speed, trying to get around the D. He gets there, tries to get the shot off. Hit the leg peg. Longer shot and a goal. So was that Frank? Frank from Wongberg, as I saw it. Wongberg with her first assist. It is a scrimmage, so it's not an official point, but good for her. Oh yeah, there you go. Sorry, I forgot the bench cam. I'm half blocked by Coach there. Coach's prerogative. So 1-0 is your score. Now they're not putting it up on the board here, but we will. They're not going to, so the Jacksons, we got it. Because it is just a scrimmage. Work on the back end. Oh, just around the back of his foot. Here comes Northern Lakes the other way. That's going to be intercepted. Now over to Canot. Canot up to Johnson. Johnson to Roop. Saved by the goalie. Another save. Up to the point it comes. Kept in by somebody over there. Stronger. Which is known by the Black Sox. Picked off by Roop. Canot making a move. Good at the line. Bemidji's in the process of changing here. Reiner had the puck over a second. Here comes Northern Lakes the other way. Canot doing some stick work. Northern Lakes still picks it up at the hash mark. And now that's going to be picked up by McLean. Back over to Canot. Nice out pass. 1D to get around, makes the move. Shot, tipped over the top of the net. Nice job by Bird there. It was. Okay, this is Baki. She gets it in deep. Now Northern Lake's going to pick it up. They throw it cross ice. Tipped into the zone by Berg. Northern Lakes now gains the blue line. Looking for somebody to pass to, battling in the corner. Nice body work by McLean. Northern Lake's going to pick up the pass in their own end. Picked off by Wongberg. He goes to battle in the corner. Picked up by Johnson. She throws it up ice. Now it's picked off by Northern Lakes. Boston to pick it up. He dishes it back to Johnson. Johnson gains the blue line with his blue. That one's flipped high off the glass. Longberg tries to throw towards the net. Tried the old stuff-up truck. That didn't get anywhere. Now back to Lossing. Shot, tip, saved by the goalie. Johnson throws towards the net and a goal. That's going to make it 2-0. Oh, bench camp. We still got a blocker here. I'll show Lexi. Until she moves, I'm going to have to put bench cam up a little higher. We got Frank. Yeah, take a picture out of that. Standing right in front of the camera. So that makes it 2 rip. Now I know to put it somewhere else. Or a little higher. So this is Canot, top of the circle, makes move backhand, forehand, backhand, and another goal. So we're supposed to be able to see the fist bumps. I'll take that. Yeah. Hope so. So 14-12 and counting here. Northern Lakes has had a few opportunities, but Bemidji definitely had more. Not going back to get it. He throws it over to that Swanberg. He dishes it over to Swanberg. Oh, there we go, a little bump in the corner. Minor crunch and munch. Northern Lakes looking for somebody to pass through. Picked up by Greiner. She throws it out to center where it's picked up by Northern Lakes. They go D to D. Now picked off by Berg. Thank you. Berg onto the forehand. You really don't know. You know how this goes. Yeah, that's true. Here comes Coe. Coe onto the backhand. Throws it up to George. Tried to tip it towards the net. Coe trying to get it in. Oh, just cleared away by Northern Lakes. Canot making a move, top of the circle, shot right in the old bread basket. So who's our second red guy? Bemidji wins the draw, goes back to the point for Yuki. Threw it towards the net, comes back to her. Now one-on-one. Nice job by McLean. She does the old spinorama. Outlet pass. That looks like Baki. I was right. Went off the skating rather than the jersey. And saved by the goalie. Wasn't much on it. This is George now. She gives it right over to a Northern Lakes player. He tries to keep it in the zone. Goes back to Northern Lakes. Now they throw it up and pass off the board. Somebody to pass to. Spade, there you go. And Fuller. This is Roop. Under her forehand, she puts it into overdrive, looking to get around the D. Gets their shot, saved by the goalie. Yeah. Watson blew a tire. Face off won by Bemidji here. Low shot off the side of the net. Northern Lakes loses the handle. Rupp making a move. Sorry. I am going to fix that. Here comes Northern Lakes 1-on-4. Group in the way. From behind the net. Stretch pass to Johnson. And Bemidji's going to try and get it deep. Thrown away by Northern Lakes, picked off by Roop. He goes down on one knee. Blast through a D. Now got it back on her stick. Got it knocked off her stick. Reiner into the corner. 5 to 7. That's going to be Northern Lakes. Nice job by Griner to keep it in deep. 1-on-3. Berg battling the 1-on-2 or 3. Griner in there to help. And here comes Northern Lakes. Sandwich between 2B and 2 forwards. Frank to Lossing. Lossing loses it in her wickets, throws it up ice. Just off the ice was Baki. And Northern Lakes goes cross ice through the slot. Northern Lakes on trying to get something started. 9:54 to go in the first half. We're only playing 2 halves here. Baki along the wall. Now comes back to Frank. Over to Lawson. Back to the Northern Lakes in the neutral zone. Northern Lakes looking for somebody to pass to. Throws it towards the net. And saved by Lauer. Yeah. He's going to start thinking this is going to be easy. Where did she play? Not with Baki. Not. Goes to the forehand. And goalie got it. She was looking behind. And she had it under the pads. Hockey players don't play a lot of baseball. The ref wasn't quite able to catch it. Get a little view of the goalie here. She was dancing. From the point, that was Swanberg. Back to Swanberg. To the top of the circle, makes the moves. Shot, that one got blocked. Good save to the corner. Swanberg throws it up ice. Picked off by Northern Lakes. Not. Has it. Dance around her feet. I think she's got a plan, Lexi. making a move.
ball. Cannot. Too deep. Comes up from the George. Then skate the stick, but not quick enough. Big blast. That's blocked out front. Swanberg teed it up. What time do you need to go to locker room? Face off. Going to come to the left of Lauer. Ref's dancing again. Face off won by Northern Lakes. Back to the point. Shot. Looks like Lauer got a piece of it. And here comes Roop. She's got a plan. She's going to drive the center. Splits the D. And score. So coast to coast. Puts the Lumberjacks up 4 rip. That was a nice move. I do. It's on here. So this is what everybody sees, and this is me searching. I have to switch it. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with us. That's it, everybody. I now got the view for you. Yeah, I have my camera there. So just put your headphones right over this way. Yeah, and we're good to go. Good luck. There you go. Good job. Good luck. And here comes Bemidji now with it. Thrown away by Northern Lakes. Let's go by me. To center, Roop again, right on the goalie, and it's loose, out front, another pass, Northern Lakes throws it to the corner. Northern Lakes behind their own net. And they throw it up ice. And now in, played by Lauer. She leaves it for Lawson. He hits Bunkowski, but kicked off her speed, stick deep into the zone. Lawson tries to play it, and we're going to get an offsides on Bemidji. With 6:04 to go here in the first half. And I hope you're enjoying the broadcast here. We've got a few kinks. There's girls going in the locker room. And up ice to, that's Briner. Briner trying to get around the D. Spins one around, and the refs are going to call the first penalty. So I think that's going to be 2 on Briner for what we might call the old spinorama. Or could also be interference. So face-off's going to come to the left of Lauer. So she doesn't actually go in the box, but they do blow the whistle, move the face-off down into the Bemidji zone here. Northern Lakes able to keep it in where Connaught's going to play it. She throws it up ice to Coe. Lewis throws it out of the zone, but it's played by Northern Lakes. Now back around to Connaught. Connaught with the old spinorama. She feeds it over to Baki. Well played by the Northern Lakes defense. The old spinorama. Up ice they come. Played by George. George trying to get it in deep. Now taken away by Northern Lakes. Where Swanberg dishes it off, tries to get it to Cove. Northern Lakes goes hard into the boards. Cannot win it on the backhand, loses it. Nice play by Cove. And here comes Northern Lakes with a little speed, tries to throw it up ice. Intercepted by Knott. And that's going to be offsides on Northern Lakes. Good look at Lauer here. Bench cam. I'm going to get a better bench camera for you next weekend. We'll come up with a better plan here. So getting to know the rinks, getting to know the girls. We'll dial this in for everybody. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here. Good Saturday early evening. 5 minutes even left in the first half here. Northern Lakes a little timeout here. They're over talking to the coach. Now they look ready to go. Face off to the right of Lauer. Face off won by Bemidji. Throw it up ice, tries to hit Roop. Then we're going to face off just outside the Bemidji zone here. Looks like Roop on the draw. Played back by Northern Lakes. Try to go D to D. Roop with the pressure. Save. Johnson throws it towards the net. Josh misses. Northern Lakes tries to get it out of the zone. Played by Roop, shot off the crossbar, high up into the air. Reiner into the corner. And Northern Lakes picks it off, down goes behind their own net. That was Berkey in there to help. Roop, shot, saved by the goalie, puck's loose. And here comes Northern Lakes. Let's go spinorama at the hash marks. Picked up by Northern Lakes. Now from the top of the circle, whiff on the shot. Lauer bats it back over. This is Berg. Berg making a move. She's 1-on-2. Another move, shot. That one's a FedEx special right over top of the net. Northern Lakes trying to get out of the zone here. Picked up by Berg again. Shot right in the old net for the goalie for Northern Lakes. And she says, give me a whistle. Back to Lawson. And saved by the Northern Lakes goalie. That was Frank over there. Johnson trying to make a move. Tries to throw it towards the net. Blocked by Northern Lakes. Johnson still with it. From behind the net. Saved by the Northern Lakes goalie. 2:58 to go here in the first half. And that one's won by Bemidji with Berg. She threw it all the way back into the Bemidji zone. Johnson will pick it up. She goes behind her own net to Lawson. She tries to get it up ice. Northern Lakes trying to get the handle on it. Here comes Johnson. One-on-one now. Tries to get around the D. She does on the forward in the back of the forehand and lost the handle. Now she throws it back to the D, where Frank throws it in deep. Berg trying to get a handle on it. Right out the goalie mask. And here comes Northern Lakes trying to get around Lawson. Pocket picked by Berg. Wide open, 1-on-0. Berg makes the move and scores. Unassisted. So pretty goal by Berg. Northern Lakes all went off at a change. Somebody forgot to stay out and watch Berg. So face off out to center here. That was Malkowski on the draw. Baki goes down in a heap. Malkowski, she's going to try and split the knee. Nice move. Northern Lakes now picks it up. This one's going to come all the way back for Slongberg. She's going to, tries to dish it off. Cannot, batting it around in the air. Northern Lakes off the hash marks. Cannot still with it. Cannot's going to drive with it. Coming through center with some speed. Tries to split the knee. And the goalie scoops it up and says, give me a whistle. Anders, glad you're able to be watching the broadcast here. I miss you, buddy. Big helper getting things set up. I got about 90% of it by myself. We got a couple of glitches we're working out since I haven't used it for a month. But we're going to have it ready for next weekend. This one kept in by McLean. Northern Lakes trying to gain the zone. They do, but it's batted out there by Gerke. Now back to McLean. Trying to get it. She loses it in the wickets of Baki. Northern Lakes throws it up. Picked up by McLean. He's going to go out for a change. Baki trying to get it back to somebody. Kept in by McLean. Throws it towards the net. Goalie says, give me a whistle. Quick, he played it. Dawson trying to keep in the zone, battling there at the blue line. Northern Lakes gets it out, but now it's played by Cole. Northern Lakes, one-on-one. McLean, shot. Looks like Lauer got a piece of it. Anders, I can't get that bench cam in as good a spot as you do, buddy. I got to work on that. Maybe I'm too short. I got to get it up higher. Looks like we're going to have the end of the first here. Looks like I'm going to guess that's the first half. And we're going to maybe get a resurface. Yep, so it looks like the Zamboni is going to come out. Give us a quick resurface, so good time to go get your snacks and beverages. We got about a 10-12 minute break here for you. We'll play the second half, and then we're going to broadcast the JV game as well. Going to have to, I need to get a lineup. All the numbers are different. Today they're wearing different jerseys than they will next weekend, so I'm going to have to learn all the jerseys again. So for now, though, Zamboni's on its way out.
We'll use the end cams for you. While the Zamboni's going around. And we'll be back at you in a little bit, everybody. Hang tight.
right, Jack fans. I did a little maintenance on the cameras. Anders, if you're still listening, let's see. There you go. Hopefully that's the improved bench cam where the coach will be far off to the left for you, and locker room cam, especially that's the JV locker room. The varsity one's far down the wall. I suppose I could have moved it. But we'll get that better for the actual home game. So there's bench cam. Net cam. The other net cam. Zamboni cam, whatever you want to call it. And so just getting ready for the teams to come back out on the ice. We'll have a quick warm-up period and another 25 minutes of second half. So a total of 50 minutes during the regular season. The periods are 17, so they'll play 51 minutes. So during the scrimmage here, they're going to play 50. We've got the score at 5-0 for the Lumberjacks, but this is a scrimmage, so it really doesn't count. We're not keeping track here. Technology, getting better at these folks. By the end of the season, you watch, we're gonna have this thing rocking. Especially when I get a couple of helpers. Anybody watching out there, if you're gonna be at the hockey games, whether you want to come help, it's quite a bit to set up all these cams. I'm always looking for assistance or somebody that can do some color commentary, or if even somebody, you got a youngster that wants to be in charge of what views we're seeing here. We can switch them all around. We can make two cameras side by side. You can even do 4 watching. We can even say thank you for watching. We can do all kinds of fun stuff. We can play videos. It's just a matter of having the brain power and the time to do it. So still waiting for the girls to come out of the locker room here. Hope you all had a chance to get some snacks, because it is past dinner time. We are running behind here. So the JV game's supposed to start in 20 minutes. I think we're a good hour behind. Should come on the ice down the corner here. Looks like the referees are making their way back. I see the Jacks behind them here. Here we can get a ref cam. There you go. And there the Lumberjacks are taking the ice. That looks like George, person on the ice. Group, not. Lossing, Cantel, Johnson, Turkey, Berg, Malkowski, so win for Northern Lakes to come back out. We'll check out the bench cam here and see how kind of blockage we get now. This is going to be much better. Bench cam's my favorite. I can't have it getting blocked. And here comes Northern Lakes. And here comes out of locker room number 1. Not looking like much of a warm-up time here. Bemidji's all at the bench. We're underway here again. Bemidji won the draw. Takes it into the neighbor. Northern Lakes zone. Loop. Picked up by 11, which is stronger. And they throw back to the point. This is Connaught to go get it. Comes through center, throws it over to Johnson. Johnson throws it in deep. Where Slongberg's going to go get it. Group on D now. He comes away with it at the point. Sees Connaught. Goes to the slot. Top of the circle. Drops it for Connaught. Connaught with the big whip. And now Roop picks it up. From the dot. Looking shot. Looks like goalie got the blocker on it. Now Johnson threw it back to Connaught. Going home. This is Berg. Battling behind the net. Berg still with it. She throws it back to Connaught. Connaught from the dot. Backhand forehand shot. That goes wide. And that gets by a hoop, and she's going to go all the way back into her own zone where she's going to pick it up. Looking for somebody to pass to. She hits Berg. Berg throws it off the side of the net. Johnson tries the center. Turkey hot off the bench. Along with McLean. And the goalie says, give me a whistle. Face off to the left of the Northern Lakes goalie. This one comes back to Turkey. Throws it towards the net. That gets blocked by Northern Lakes. Now McLean. Now back to McLean. He goes down to a knee. Now chucks it off the wall. Moves it over to Reiner. And Northern Lakes throws it up ice. Played by Lauer. Lauer throws it up to Coe. Nice pass by Lauer. Sorry, I forget to change it back sometimes. Northern Lakes plays it off of McLean. McLean from behind the net. Right out front. And Reiner from McLean buries it in the net. Thought they were keeping track, but that makes it 6-0. So face-off going to come to center here. Way better view of the bench cam. Hope you all enjoy it better. It's better than looking at the back of the coach. Back to center we come here. Looks like George on the draw with Longberg and Coe over to Longberg. Longberg hits George. It's batted to the near wall. Longberg's going to go fetch it behind the net. Gets it over to Coe. Coe wraps it around. Not sure who that is. This is Lawson. And Northern Lakes throws it up ice. And George gains the blue line. Back to Lawson. Lawson shoots. Blocker save. Northern Lakes. Coe tries to jam it in. Goes wide. Back to the end wall. Not sure who number 5 is. Lawson. Roop onto the forehand shot that goes off Northern Lakes. Roop throws it up to the point. Going to be picked off by Berg. Berg leaves it for Connaught. Connaught gains the blue line. Connaught looking for somebody to pass to right out front. Over to Berg. Berg to Swanberg. Roop centers. Johnson throws it towards the net. Northern Lakes puts the mitt down, says, give me a whistle. And Northern Lakes appropriate, does a little crease work and clears the zone. Face off coming to the left of the Northern Lakes goalie. Roop on the draw. And she's got Swanberg. And it looks like Johnson out there with it. Berg and Connaught, it looks like. Berg. Root, Berg. Saved by the goalie. Nice tic-tac-toe, but the Northern Lakes goalie standing tall. Let me get the name on that Northern Lakes goalie for us. Back to Roop, shot, and goal. Looks like she went top corner. And in net is
He's having a fine game. Deemer from Pequot Lakes, a senior. Face off back to center here. Malkowski. See who else we got out there. Berg still out there. Picked up by the Jacks out front. Northern Lake picks it off. Bierke. He throws it up ice. Malkowski. Back end forehand shot. Leg pad saved by the goalie. Who's standing tall. She's the one getting the workout today. Even side by side. It's like Berg on the draw. Back to Bierke. Picked out by Northern Lakes. Now McLean tries to get it back up. Jacks drop it in deep. Northern Lakes wraps it around the wall. Shot. That goes off the Northern Lakes. That was Bierke. Back behind the net to Malkowski. Bockley out there. To Berg. Berg looking for somebody to pass to. Berg wraps it back around to Malkowski. Looking for Baki. And right through everybody. Berg rips one. Saved by the goal on the side of the net. That's back to Bierke. That one's high off the glass. And this one's going to come all the way back. This is going to be picked up by Bierke. She wraps it off the back wall. Tries to hit George. George skates a stick. 1-on-2 now. Goes out wide. George. Shot. And it looks like he got under the pad of the goalie. And there's one for George. None of these points count. This is an official scrimmage. 18:34 to go. Face off at center here. Not sure who the new number 5 is out there. This one's played for Cove. Just off the tip of her stick. Number 5 for Bemidji. I gotta get a read on who that is. Lawson's going to pick it up. Lawson's now got a plan. Tries to give it over to George. Lawson to George. Shot and a goal by Wongberg. Nice rip for Wongberg. That's her first official, unofficial goal as a varsity player. It's a scrimmage, so it's not in the record book, but it was a goal. Great shot. I'm going to give you the bench cam here. Bucks down. Knott picks it up. Knott's making a move over to Roop. If not, over to Roop and another goal. So the wheels are about off on Northern Lakes here. Back to center we go. Went by Bemidji. Johnson gets it. Johnson gains the offensive zone. Back out front by Northern Lakes. And up ice they come.
This is going to be Connaught behind her own net. Again, pestered from behind. He's got a plan. All good at the blue line. As Johnson gets rubbed out. Out to the point to Connaught, or to over to Connaught. 11 is Swanberg. Berg on the draw now. Malkowski's out there. Shot tipped up high. Actually gets tipped back to center. Picked up by Bierke. And Northern Lakes gains the offensive zone. McLean loses it behind the net. Here comes Bemidji driving. I think that's Bierke. Back to the point. Lost there by McLean. And up ice. That should be icing. And it is. So it looks like both teams going to switch them up. Faceoff's going to come back here to the left of Lauer. This is George on the face-off. Lossing. Gets the old spinorama and gets somewhere with it. Icing's going to get waved off. That should be up. Icing's waved off. Again, not sure who number 5 is yet. Over to Coe. Gets knocked off of her stick. Tries to hit Bakke. Mambo number 5 will call her. Playing pretty well. Shot blocked by Mambo number 5. Northern Lakes, a little pressure. George tries to give her a crunch and munch along the wall. Gets tipped off of George's stick. And picked off by Coe. She throws it up ice, comes out to center. Northern Lakes goes D to D. Now they throw it up ice. In the zone again. George. Over to Bakke. Bakke onto the floor and gets knocked off her stick. Bemidji changing out the D. Out comes Connaught and looks like Swanberg. George going off for a change. Out to Connaught. Swanberg makes a move. Makes another move. Lost it. Shot. That one's saved by the goalie. Bakke in the corner. And it pops out to center. Dished over to Johnson. Johnson backhand, forehand, lost the handle. Back to Swanberg. Now Northern Lakes gets it out of the zone. Back to Johnson. Over the roof. Under the backhand, driving the net. Shot. Goalie got a piece of it. Up into the net it goes. And we'll get a face-off to the right of the Northern Lakes goalie. Luke on the draw, she wins it. Swanberg threw it towards the net. Johnson tried to get a handle on it. Luke looking for somebody to pass through. Leaves it for Connaught. Right out front, Luke puts one on net, right in the old bread basket. Good view of it there. right out front. Nice pass by Connaught. 13-17 to go here in the second half. And Roop on the draw. Northern Lakes controls. Northern Lakes threw it FedEx right over the top. Next day special. Now comes out to center. Northern Lakes tipped up high in the air. Stolen away Johnson. Doesn't get the handle on it. Double flipper saved by Northern Lakes. Gets the flipper on it twice. And we'll get a face-off to the left of the Northern Lakes goal. It looks like Berg on it. With Bierke and Swanberg on D. Northern Lakes trying to throw it out of the zone. Nice job by McLean. Shot goes behind the net. Panorama by Berg. Bierke trying to keep it in the zone. Nice job. Berg keeps it, throws it in deep. Malkowski behind the net. She's looking for somebody to center too. Malkowski throws it out front. Oh! What a great save by the Northern Lakes goalie. And this one's going all the way down to the end. And Lauer plays it to the coach/referee. And looks like we're going to get a face-off to the right of the Northern Lakes goalie. This is Berg on the draw. Malkowski and can't tell. Shot is wide. That's Griner out there on forward. A little crunch and munch in the corner. Malkowski digging away in there. Off the wall comes the Jack. In the third pass, he throws it out front. Shot. Saved by the goalie. Comes back to the point again. Shot goes wide. Might have been tipped. This is Bierke. That's McLean over there. She tries to rip again. That one's blocked. Loses an edge, blows a tire either way down in a heap. Malkowski on the half line. Tries to get it back to Bierke. Malkowski, shot. Just a bit outside. Pressure here by the Jacks. Berg, backhand for it, backhand, and top shelf. The Jacks had all the mojo. And both teams changing them up with 11:07 to go. So a bit of a rout going here. JV game's supposed to be starting here at 7. It looks like we're going to be about a half hour late. Goes down in a heap. Penalty call. Sorry, I missed that one for you. So that's going to bring the face-off into the Northern Lakes zone for the second penalty of the game. Face off to the left of the Northern Lakes goalie. Mambo number 5 goes towards the net. It gets blocked. George throws it towards the net. It gets blocked. Hockey throws it out front. Nobody home. And Northern Lakes says, give me a whistle. And throws it up ice. So we get another face off. Face off going to come to the left of the Northern Lakes goalie. Face off is down, goes over to Cole. Mambo throws it over to Lawson. Tip just goes wide. Into the double look again. Mambo goes towards the net. Backhand Cole. Flipper save Northern Lakes. Down front, George tries to bat it.
looks like the goalie got it. You had the view at home. That's net cam there on the left. Goalie cam, net cam. Looks like George on the draw. Puck's down, won by George. Bombo goes it towards the net. Blocked by Northern Lakes. Puck's still loose out front. And everybody's down in the heat. We get another whistle. And the Jacks are going to switch them up. Northern Lakes going to switch up the forwards, it looks like. So Bemidji putting some points on the board. You know, we're in a scrimmage room, so it doesn't really matter. 10-12 to go here, second half. Roop on the draw. He tries to get it back to Knott. He then goes back to, looks like McLean, Smarter. And the goalie says, give me a whistle. So face off to the right of the Northern Lakes goalie. Roop on the draw. Comes back over to Knott. This is it over to Cantel. It's like Longberg maybe. Out front, nice shot by Roop. It is Longberg. Throws it towards the net, not a lot on it. Gets into the corner where Roop's going to pick it up. Johnson in there to help. Roop comes away with it, throws it back to Knott. Longberg looking to block out front. Roop picks it up, another save by the goalie. Roop again, rips it. Goes wide off a Northern Lakes player. Johnson's going to leave it for Roop. Roop's going to back end around the net, nobody home. They now throw it up the wall. Go to Slongberg. Trying to make a move onto the backhand. Gets knocked off her stick. Johnson picks it up. Back to Knott. Knott driving. Looking for somebody. And a goal. Picked her hole. And threw it in the net. That'll bring us back out to center here. Hope you're all enjoying watching the broadcast here. We're going to make some improvements as we get used to the system again. Get all these camera angles going for you. You can always use an assistant, a regular color guy, somebody that wants to be involved in broadcasting. Couldn't find that. Always at center. Another save by the goalie. That was Griner looking for her second of the day. With 8:28 to go. So face off to the right of Northern Lakes again. Face off won by the Jacks, goes back to McLean and throws it in deep. Valkowski going to get it in the corner. Berg trying to get it out. Northern Lakes. Lauer's not had a lot of activity. Once he's not back there taking a nap. Bjerke trying to get somewhere. 2-on-1. Looking for McLean. Shot. Oh, just goes wide. Valkowski over there to try and keep it in the zone. Big rip. McLean shot. Oh, saved by the goalie. Bemidji put the mojo on again. Baki, Malkowski out here. Baki with it. Baki throws it back to the point. Bjerke, that one's blocked by Northern Lakes. And they throw it up ice. Over Malkowski. Northern Lakes behind their own net.
Back to McLean. Shot, saved by the goalie. Baki now with it. Bierke looking to pick it up, get somewhere with it. Bierke with a plan, trying to get around the D. Spinorama on the backhand, throws it towards the net. Saved by the goalie. And Northern Lakes throws it up out center ice where Lawson's going to pick it up. Just about has it thrown off her stick. She loses the handle again. And now Coe's going to have to retreat and go get it. Coe's got it. She's got a plan. On the backhand. Back still on the backhand. Mambo number 5 throws it over to Coe. George, tries to feed Baki with it. She goes down in a heat. George trying to get somewhere with it. She was 1-on-5. Picked up by Lawson. Lawson throws it into the offensive zone. And now this looks like Johnson. Johnson with speed. Looking to split the D. Turning, spinning. Out front. Shot. That was Roop. Roop looking for Johnson. Looking for Longberg. Lawson with it. To Longberg. Longberg tried the toe drag. I don't know if that worked. Stolen by Johnson. That one goes off a Northern Lakes player. To Longberg in the corner. Roop with it. Longberg with it. Mambo number 5 with it. Tip by a Northern Lakes. Great save by the Northern Lakes goalie. Roop. Go with it. To Longberg. Longberg throws it towards the net. Roop again. 2.0. Roop driving. Shot. That got blocked. And Northern Lakes throws it up ice. Says, give me a whistle. Played by Lauer. Lauer off the Mambo. Roop. To Johnson. Johnson to Roop. Oh! Just missed. Roop. Tries to get over to Johnson. Now Northern Lakes has it again. I'll tell you what, I like how Lauer played that puck. That is a smart goalie. She knows how tired Northern Lakes was. She didn't want to give them the icing. They thought they were going out for a change. She thought she'd make the quick play. And this one goes back deep into the Jack zone. That's Swanberg throwing it up ice. Not with it. And that's offsides by a couple of feet. No call by the ref, so you're in the right spots. Malkowski with it. And that's offside, no call. Berg has it. Berg shot, saved by the Northern Lakes goalie. And she says, give me a whistle. 3:27 to go. We got bench cam on a little bit. Let's get some bench cam. Goalie cam. So we're going to the right of the Northern Lakes goalie. Malkowski lost it off her stick behind the net. Shot and a goal. Looked like Griner with her second of the game. Griner having a good game. Now it's going to come back to center here again. So looks like Griner, Malkowski, Griner, Berg splitting the knee. Now it's Berg on the ground. And Northern Lakes throws it up ice. Waved off. That's going to be McLean trying to throw it up ice. I think we're going to get a penalty for a rough on Bemidji, or on the Jacks. power. This looks like George with it. George tries to throw it up to Coe. Coe hits Baki. Baki tries to split the D. He goes down in a twisted heap. Coe tries to stuff it past the goalie, and she gets denied. Northern Lakes goalie's getting a lot of action, and she's making a lot of fantastic saves. Face off to the right of the Northern Lakes goalie here. This is George Coe Baki. Face off won by George. But here come the Northern Lakes going with a hurry. Mambo number 5 plays it well. Now she lost it. Coe's trying to get a handle on it. No dice there. Mambo down in a heap. Northern Lakes steals it. They got a 2-on-1. Unable to capitalize. Lossing with it. Lossing with it. Gets knocked off her stick with George. Backhands it. Kept it in the zone. Mambo tips it over to the wall. Where George gets a little bit of a crunch and munch. Baki now with it. Baki trying to make her move. 1-on-3. Tips it over to George. Nice pass. George on the backhand. Tries to center. That goes right to Northern Lakes. Kept in by Knott. I'm getting these girls down now, but they're all going to change their numbers. Cross ice, D to D for the Jacks. Knott driving the zone. Scott Johnson with it. Dishes it off to Johnson. Throws it towards the net. Goalie might have got a piece of that. Root. Knott stolen away by Northern Lakes. But they're not able to get back into good position. Johnson couldn't get it over here. And now Knott plays it back to Swanberg. Johnson tips it into the offensive zone. .51 to go here. Roop trying to get one more shot. That one goes wide. One of the Northern Lakes girls tried to take out the ref. Hope she's all right. Kind of looks like it, but not. 20 seconds to go. Roop, shot. That one's a FedEx over the top. Might have been tipped. 10 seconds. And a save by the goalie. With 5.2 to go. And that's about going to wrap it up. Get the bench clear for you here. So a wide open score fest for Bemidji in the scrimmage. JV's coming up next.
looks like they're going to do the ice here. So we got a quick break for you. We're going to fire up the JV game here. We'll be back after here, folks. I'm going to shut this